In the stillness of a room filled with color and silence, a woman stands before a mirror. She is not alone, though no one else is present. The mirror holds a secret image, an echo, a whisper of the self seen through different eyes, a darker self, a deeper truth. It is March 14th, 1932, and Pablo Picasso, with brush in hand and heart full of hidden longing, captures not merely a portrait, but a profound meditation on identity, desire, and the passage of time. This woman, whose form blooms across the canvas in vibrant curves and fractured shapes, is Marie-Thérèse Walter, Picasso's mistress and muse. Just 22 years old, she had already become the core of his artistic and emotional world. The painting, titled Girl Before a Mirror, is no passive depiction. It is a psychic revelation, a confrontation with both beauty and decay, innocence and sensuality, life and its inevitable shadow. By this point, Picasso is 51 years old, a master of modern art, already legend. But 1932 is no ordinary year for him. It is a year of retrospection and revelation. In the spring, the Galerie Georges Petit in Paris hosts a retrospective exhibition, an honor not often bestowed on living artists. Yet Picasso, never one to surrender control, personally curates the show. In this same season, he unleashes a torrent of creativity centered on Marie-Thérèse. His once secret affair with the young woman becomes public, exploding into view through nude portraits and erotic symbology. These works are bold declarations, not just of love, but of artistic emancipation. Marie-Thérèse entered Picasso's life in 1927, in the most cinematic of encounters. Outside the Galeries Lafayette in Paris, the famed artist approached the 17-year-old girl with a line that was both bold and simple. "You have an interesting face. I would like to do a portrait of you. I am Picasso." She had never heard of him, and yet from that moment their lives became entwined. Their relationship, shrouded at first in secrecy due to Picasso's marriage to the Russian ballerina Olga Koklova, would inspire a decade of his most intimate and innovative work. They retreated from Paris often to a countryside escape, Château de Boisjaloux, where Picasso could paint her freely away from public scrutiny. Their love was not just physical, but creative, and Marie-Thérèse's presence catalyzed a visual language in Picasso that was softer, more curvaceous, more fluid than much of his earlier Cubist experimentation. But their intimacy was a double-edged sword. By 1932, as the paintings unveiled the affair to the world, Olga's fury ignited. She discovered the truth not through confession, but through canvases, painted bodies that bore no ambiguity. 2 years later, she left Picasso, her life upturned by pigments and passion. And yet, in the midst of this upheaval, Picasso painted Girl Before a Mirror, a work so personal he would later call it one of his favorites from that year. In it, Marie-Thérèse is caught between realities. On the left, she stands in profile, her face rendered in a serene lilac, and her features drawn with a flowing, sensuous line. But her reflection tells another story. The woman in the mirror is not the same. Her eyes sunken, her face shadowed, her body curved inward as if haunted by time. The duality is impossible to ignore. Here, Picasso conjures not just an image of a woman, but of womanhood itself. Art historian Robert Rosenblum spoke of this duality, the contrast between the youthful subject and the older, almost spectral reflection, as a visual metaphor for the virgin-whore dichotomy that haunted much of Picasso's work. But the contrast also whispers of mortality. In the mirror's glass looms the specter of death, subtly suggested through darkness and distortion. It is a memento mori, a reminder that beauty fades, that time consumes all. Picasso's style in this painting eschews traditional representation. There is no attempt at realistic light, No fine brushwork to mimic the softness of skin or the glint of hair. Instead, bold colors, lavender, yellow, crimson, collide in flat blocks bounded by thick outlines. The woman's body is exaggerated in its roundness, her breasts full, her stomach ripe, echoing fertility and sensuality. The background is a diamond pattern, reminiscent of the harlequin costume, an old symbol Picasso often used to represent himself. The pattern jostles with the figure, creating a tension between geometry and the body's organic curves. There is something stained glass-like in the painting's final form, as if Marie-Thérèse had been immortalized in a window of color and symbolism. The painting is compressed, dense with layers. Picasso reworked it several times, striving for an intensity that pulses from the canvas. The mirror is not just a mirror, it is a portal, and the woman not just a woman, but a myth, a symbol, a self-divided. Some critics have called this work a transformation of the classic vanity motif in art, where women gaze into mirrors not only to admire their beauty, but to confront their own impermanence. Yet Picasso's version is darker and more psychological. Debbie Goldberg at MoMA noted that the reflection might be death itself. In this reading, the painting is an allegory, echoing artworks where death holds a mirror to the living, urging them to remember life's brevity. And yet, despite these themes of decay, the image is deeply sensual. Marie-Thérèse was more than a muse. She was a catalyst. Françoise Gillot, Picasso's later partner, would later say, "She was certainly the woman who had inspired Pablo plastically more than any other." Her Grecian profile and commanding presence echoed through nearly every work Picasso made in the late 1920s and early 1930s. She was the model for Le Rêve, for countless studies, and for this haunting, luminous mirror scene. The two would remain connected for over a decade. In 1935, Marie-Thérèse told Picasso she was pregnant. Their daughter, Maya, was born that September. Though Picasso promised to divorce Olga, he never did. Still, his bond with Marie-Thérèse endured, even as other women came and went in his life. Theirs was a relationship painted into permanence, one brushstroke at a time. In Girl Before a Mirror, the canvas holds both life and its reflection, youth and its echo, love and its consequences. It is not a passive gaze we witness, but a confrontation between the self and the soul, the face and the truth it conceals. In the luminous chaos of Picasso's palette, a woman sees herself not as she is, but as she might become. And in that moment, suspended forever in oil and color, she becomes eternal.